আসসালামু আলাইকুম। কেমন আছেন আপনারা সবাই? গতদিন আমি আলোচনা করেছিলাম যে সার্জিক্যাল সাইট ইনফেকশনস। সো সার্জিক্যাল সাইট ইনফেকশন ইজ আ কোয়াইট লার্জ টপিক, সো কোয়াইট ইম্পর্টেন্ট। সো আজকে আমরা বর্ণনা করব the second part, that means the last part of surgical infections. That means there are some diseases who are associated with infections or infective foci. So প্রথমেই চলুন শুরু করা যাক। এখানে সার্জিক্যাল ইনফেকশনে কি মেজর অ্যান্ড মাইনর সার্জিক্যাল সাইটস কিছু রয়েছে, যেমন ইনফেকশন অ্যাকোয়ার্ড ফ্রম এনভায়রনমেন্ট অর স্টাফ। ওকে, সো ইনফেকশন অ্যাকোয়ার্ড ফ্রম এনভায়রনমেন্ট অ্যান্ড স্টাফ following surgery admission to hospital termed as acquired infection. That means আগে থেকে কোনো পেশেন্টের ইনফেকশন ছিল না, কিন্তু হাসপাতালে ভর্তি হওয়ার পরে যদি ইনফেকশন হয় তাহলে এটাকে বলা হয় hospital acquired infections. Okay, there is a four main groups of respiratory infections including ventilator associated pneumonia. That means ventilation এর কারণে যদি নিউমোনিয়া হয়, urinary tract infections mostly related to urinary catheters, so UTI related with catheterizations, and endotracheal intubation associated with pneumonia. So এই ধরনের কিছু হইতে পারে। এছাড়া ব্যাকটেরিয়ামিয়া or blood in the bacteria sometimes mostly related to indwelling vascular catheterization. That means CVP, central venous line করার সময় অনেক সময় vascular bacteremia হইতে পারে, and systemic surgical site infection also are factors. So these all can be happen in case of surgical site infections. So the major infection is defined as wound that either discharges significant quantities of pus spontaneously or need a secondary procedures to drain it. That means major surgical site infection ওইগুলো যেগুলোতে ডিসচার্জ আসে, অনেক পাস তৈরি হয়, স্পন্টেনিয়াসলি নিজে নিজে পাস তৈরি হয়, or need a secondary procedure to drain. That means আমাদেরকে এটাকে ড্রেন করতে হয়, like abscess, like wound associated with abscess, ডিসচার্জ যেটাকে আমাদেরকে বের করে ড্রেন করতে হয়। এই ধরনের ইনফেকশনগুলোকে বলা হয় মেজর। সো মেজর ইনফেকশনের কিছু কোয়ালিটি রয়েছে, যেমন সিগনিফিক্যান্ট কোয়ান্টিটি অফ পাস, সো দেয়ার মাস্ট বি পাস ফরমেশনস, ডিলেড রিটার্ন টু হোম, দ্যাট মিন্স প্রলং বেড রেস্ট, অ্যান্ড দি পেশেন্টস আর সিস্টেমিক্যালি ইল, দ্যাট মিন্স পেশেন্ট মাস্ট বি ইমিউনোকম্প্রোমাইজড অর মাস্ট বি অ্যাসোসিয়েটেড উইথ ডায়াবেটিস মেলাইটাস অ্যান্ড আদার্স। সো তাদের এই ধরনের সমস্যা থাকতে হবে। সো এখানে আপনি দেখেন মাইনর ওন ইনফেকশন সেটেল স্পন্টেনিয়াসলি উইদাউট অ্যান্টিবায়োটিক্স। তো অনেক সময় দেখা গেল মাইনর ইনফেকশন একা একাই ভালো হয়ে যায়, ঠিক আছে। যেমন এখানে একটা দেখা যাচ্ছে যে হিলিং একটা কাট সেকশন। আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে, তো আসি। সো এখানে দেখেন একটা মেজর ইনফেকশনস, এখানে সুপারফিশিয়াল স্কিন ডিহিশন, স্কিনটা খুলে গেছে, ভেতরে কিছু পাস দেখা যাচ্ছে, আর এখানে একটা ড্রেন মার্ক, এদিকে আমরা ড্রেন দিয়েছিলাম, ড্রেন খোলার পরেও দেখা যাচ্ছে যে ইনফেকশনটি aggravate করছেন এবং ultimately wound dehiscence occurs. So minor infections may discharge pus or infected serous fluid but are not associated with excessive discomfort. So minor ইয়েতে পাস হয় কিন্তু excessive discomfort হয় না। And তোমার হলো the differentiation between the major and minor and differentiation of SSI is important in audit and clinical trials of antibiotics prophylaxis. There are scoring system for the severity of the infections which particularly useful for surveillance or asepsis. Okay, so এখানে একটা স্কোরিং সিস্টেম আছে যেখানে আমরা সার্জিক্যাল সাইট ইনফেকশন আইদার মেজর অর মাইনর, ইট ক্যান বি ডিটারমাইন্ড বাই দি স্কোরিং সিস্টেম। সো এখানে মোস্ট অফ দি সার্ভিলেন্স করা হয়েছিল যাদের মোস্ট উইদিন 30 days অফ পোস্ট অপারেটিভ পিরিয়ড, মানে অপারেশনের 30 দিনের মধ্যে কত ধরনের পেশেন্টের ইনফেকশন হয়, এই জিনিসগুলো এই সার্ভিলেন্সের মধ্যে রয়েছে। ওকে, সো দ্য US Centers for Disease Control DCC definitions instead of 30-day follow-up period of non-prosthetic surgery and 1 year after implanted hip and knee surgery. সো এখানে US একটা ডিজিজ কন্ট্রোল করছিল 30 দিন, এবং যাদের প্রসথেসিস লাগানো আছে, বিশেষ করে হিপ অ্যান্ড নি সার্জারি আছে, তাদের দেখছিল যে 30 ডেজের মধ্যে কি হয় এবং 1 ইয়ারের মধ্যে আবার রিকারেন্স বা এনি ডিসচার্জ আর এনি চান্সেস অফ ইনফেকশন হয় কিনা, এটা তারা সার্ভিলেন্স করে দেখছে। আচ্ছা, এবার আসি লোকালাইজড ইনফেকশনস। সো ইনফেকশনসের ভিতরে কিছু আছে লোকালাইজ, কিছু আছে সিস্টেমিক। সিস্টেমিকের মধ্যে রয়েছে সেপ্টিসেমিয়া or হলো bacteremia others. This can be systemic. So local কি হইতে পারে abscess. Abscess, that means ফোড়া. So an abscess presents all the clinical features like dolor, heat, raised temperature, redness, and tender, and there's with or without swelling. So swelling তো অবশ্যই থাকতে পারে. An abscess usually follow a puncture wound of some kind which may have been forgotten as well as surgery. So অনেক সময় অ্যাবসেস শেখানো হয় যে একটা পাংচার wound থেকে গেল যেটা আনরিকগনাইজ থাকে সার্জারি করার পরে দেখা গেল সেখানে আলটিমেটলি পাস তৈরি হয়, বাট ক্যান বি মেটাস্টেটিক ইন অল টিস্যুজ ফলোইং ব্যাকটেরিয়ামে। দ্যাট মিন্স পাস যদি ড্রেন করা না হয় ওই অর্গানিজম সারাউন্ডিং ব্লাড ভেসেলের মাধ্যমে অন্য জায়গায়ও তৈরি হইতে পারে। সো দ্যাট মিন্স মোর দেন সিঙ্গেল লোকেশন ক্যান বি অ্যাসোসিয়েটেড উইথ অ্যাবসেস। ওকে, সো এখানে স্কোরিং সিস্টেমটা দেওয়া আছে যেটা একটু আগে আমরা বললাম। সো নর্মাল হিলিং প্রসেস, সো এটা অনেকে পড়তে পারে, তবে আমার এফসিপিএস এর জন্য দরকার নেই, বাট এমআরসিএস বা আদার্স ওকে জন্য আসতে পারে যে মেজর কমপ্লিকেশনস, হোয়াট আর দি মাইনর কমপ্লিকেশনস। সো দিস ইজ দ্য স্কোরিং সিস্টেম, এসএফসি স্কোর, 1 square. Okay, so try to focus here. Pyogenic organism, predominantly Staphylococcus aureus, causes tissue necrosis and suppuration that already been discussed previous class. So pus composed of dead and drying white cells, so that means dead neutrophil is one of the important component of pus that we all know about this. Predominantly neutrophils, okay, you can see that is neutrophils and that have circumference bacterial toxin. An abscess is surrounded by acute inflammatory response. That means একটা অ্যাবসেসের চারপাশে অ্যাকিউট ইনফ্লামেটরি রেসপন্স হয়, একটা অ্যাবসেস চারিদিকে রেডনেস হয়। সো রেডনেস মিনস ইট ইজ ওয়ান অফ দি ইম্পর্টেন্ট কম্পোনেন্ট অফ ইনফ্লামেটরি সিমটমস সাইন। সো কম্পোস্ট অফ ফিব্রিনাস এক্সুডেট, ওখানে এক্সুডেটিভ ফ্লুইড থাকবে, এডেমা থাকবে, অ্যান্ড অ্যাকিউট ইনফ্লামেটরি সেলস দ্যাট ইজ ডেড নিউট্রোফিল প্রেজেন্ট থাকবে, অ্যান্ড গ্রানুলেশন টিস্যু ইফ দ্যাট ইজ ক্রনিক অ্যাবসেস অর abscess is in delayed condition. In that case granulation tissue may be present. That means granulation tissue means macrophage, fibroblast and new blood vessel, that means angiogenesis. These all are discussed in the wound and healing chapters. Then what are the mechanism that occurs in case of inflammation and cut injury followed by inflammation and others. So granulation tissue মানে আমরা সবাই জানি macrophage, fibroblast and new blood vessels থাকে, so এগুলো abscess এর মধ্যে থাকবে। So the forms later on suppurative process and lead to collagen deposition. So ultimately when আস্তে আস্তে collagen deposition হয়, and if it is not drained or resolved completely, the chronic abscess may result and it partly sterilized with antibiotics and antibiome may form. That means একটা abscess যদি আমরা drain না করি, that means এবং তার drain না করেই যদি antibiotic দেই, then it can be form an antibioma. That means ওখানে একটা শক্ত টিউমারের মতো মনে হবে কিন্তু ভেতরে কিন্তু পাস। সো আমরা অবশ্যই অ্যাবসেস থাকলে ড্রেন করতে হবে, ড্রেন করে অ্যাকর্ডিং টু দি পাস অ্যান্ড কালচার সেন্সিটিভিটি অ্যান্টিবায়োটিক মাস্ট বি গিভেন। সো ইফ ইউ ফেইল টু মেক দি ড্রেনেজ, দ্যাট অ্যাবসেস ক্যাভিটি উইল বিকাম হার্ড অ্যান্ড মেক অ্যান অ্যান্টিবায়োমা। ওইটা ভেতরে দেখবেন পাস আছে কিন্তু সেটা স্টেরাইল, এখানে কোনো ব্যাকটেরিয়া পাওয়া যাবে না, খালি একটা গোটা বা শক্ত জিনিস আপনারা দেখতে পাবেন, এটা হলো অ্যান্টিবায়োমা। That means ওখানে collagen deposition হয়, that means it was become hard. Okay, it will become hard. Now what are the other information that we take from here? Abscess contain hyperosmolar material that draws in fluid, and wound abscess may discharge spontaneously by tracking to a surface. Most abscess relating to surgical wound take 7 to 10 days to form after surgery. That means maximum abscess may discharge spontaneous, মানে যদি আপনি একটা অ্যাবসেস ড্রেন না করেন, সো আলটিমেটলি এটা ফেটে যাবে এবং একা একাই ডিসচার্জিং সাইনাস তৈরি করবে, অ্যান্ড ট্র্যাকিং সার্ফেস তৈরি করবে, বাট মে নিড ড্রেনেজ থ্রু সার্জিক্যাল incisions. That means when you see abscess along with some sinus tract, you must make an incisions and drainage occurs. So আপনাকে একটা incision and drainage করতে হবে. Most abscess relating to surgical take 7 to 10 days. সো আমরা একটা অ্যাবসেস আমরা ভিতরে পজ দিয়ে রাখবো ইনসিশন টাইমকে 7 থেকে 10 দিন। ওকে, টু ফর্ম আফটার সার্জারি, and as many as 75% of SSI is present after the patient has left hospital. অনেকে দেখা গেল 75% লোকজনের ক্ষেত্রে দেখা যায় যে ওন টেক্স 7 to 10 days to form after. So many patient এর ক্ষেত্রে এটা অনেক দেখা যায় যে তারা 7 থেকে 10 দিন হাসপাতালে থাকলেও তারপরেও তার ইনফেকশন ডেভেলপ করতে পারে। সো এটা এখানে বোঝাতে চাইছে। Okay, the abscess cavity need cleaning out after incisions and drainage are traditionally encouraged to heal by secondary intention. That means আমরা একটা অ্যাবসেস ড্রেন করার পরে সেটা প্রাইমারিলি ক্লোজ করব না, সেটা অবশ্যই সেকেন্ডারি ইন্টেনশন, মানে সেকেন্ড যখন একটা পাস হিল হয়ে যাবে, মানে ড্রেন হয়ে যাবে, ভিতরে গ্রানুলেশন টিস্যু চলে আসবে, কোনো পাস থাকবে না, কোনো ইনফেক্টিভ ফোকাই থাকবে না, ইন দ্যাট কেস মানে গুড প্রপার অ্যান্টিবায়োটিক অলরেডি বিন কমপ্লিটেড, ইন দ্যাট কেস উই উইল মেক দি সেকেন্ডারি ক্লোজার। তো এখানে বোঝাচ্ছে যে অ্যাবসেস ক্যাভিটিস কখনো অফ করা হবে না, ঠিক আছে। And drainage are traditionally encouraged by healing secondary intentions. When the cavity is left open to drain freely, there is no need for antibiotic therapy as well. যদি কখনো আপনি এটা খুলে রাখেন, আপনার অ্যান্টিবায়োটিক অনেক সময় নাও লাগতে পারে, না দরকার হয় না। Antibiotic should be used if the abscess cavity is closed after drainage. যদি এখানে বলতেছে when the cavity is after cavity is used, abscess cavity is closed after drainage. And but the cavity should not be closed if there is any risk of retained loculi or foreign materials. আপনি যদি ভিতরে দেখেন যে ভিতরে অনেক লকিউলি বা গোটা গোটা কিছু আছে, ওয়ালে কিছু লেগে থাকতে পারে বা অ্যাবসেস ফোকাই থাকতে পারে, then you must not close the wound because it will recurrent, it will make the abscess recurrent. So it must be open and drained properly and must be loculi must be debribed properly during the incision and drainage. So thus the perineal abscesses can be incised and drained or as the walls and curated and the skin closed with good results using appropriate antibiotic therapy. But pilonidal abscess has a high recurrence risk after such treatment because the nidus of hair may remain in the subcutaneous tissue adjacent to the abscess. So some small breast abscess may be managed by simple needle aspiration of the pus and antibiotic therapy. So abscess of different organs has different treatment modalities. So some are like incision, drainage, and thorough good antibiotic can results a good outcome. But in case of some disease like pilonidal abscess, because there is some nidus of hair, that means there is always a foreign body sensations which make the abscess cavity most vulnerable, and that also causes again the recurrence. So আমাদের এই নাইডাস অফ হেয়ার এই জিনিসটা আছে দেখে পাইলোনিয়াল অ্যাবসেস আমাদেরকে অবশ্যই দেয়ার ইজ চান্স অফ রিকারেন্স রেট, সো দ্য এক্সপার্টাইজড surgeons must close the wound according to the textbook or according to their experiences. So perineal abscess এর ভিতরে আমরা দেখা যায় ইনসিশন ড্রেনেজ করা হয় এবং সেটা কিউরেট করা হয় and there will be good results. Sometimes that perineal abscess may form a sinus later on the fistula, so that could be occurs. So abscess কি হয়, ড্রেনেজ করতে হবে, অ্যান্টিবায়োটিক্স আর ইন্ডিকেটেড ইফ দ্য অ্যাবসেস ক্যাভিটি ইজ নট লেফট ওপেন টু ড্রেন ফ্রিলি, ঠিক আছে, and open abscess can be healed by secondary intention. These are the info that must be remembered. So persistent chronic abscesses may lead to sinus or fistula formation. In a chronic abscess, lymphocytes and plasma cells are seen. There is a tissue sequestrations and later classifications. Certain organisms are associated with the chronicity and sinus or fistula formations. Common one are mycobacterium and actinomycosis. So there are some other chronic infections like persistent chronic infections which is caused by mycobacterium and actinomycosis mostly, but those are common, and some causes tissue sequestration and the later calcification occurs also. So কিছু যেমন perianastomotic contaminations may be caused by abscess, but in the abdomen abscess are more usually there is an anastomotic leakage. So অ্যাবডোমেনের ভিতরে অ্যাবসেসের মূল কারণ হলো অ্যানাস্টোমোটিক লিকেজ, কখনো অ্যানাস্টোমোস করে এবং সেখানে অ্যাবসেস হয়, আলটিমেটলি এটা অ্যানাস্টোমোটিক লিকেজ করে। And abscess in a deep cavity such as pleural and peritoneum may be difficult to diagnose, to locate even when there is a strong clinical suspicions present. So প্লেন আমরা কি করতে পারি, আমরা সিটি স্ক্যান করতে পারি, এমআরআই করতে পারি, আর আল্ট্রাসাউন্ড। So to detect that abscess of internal abscess you may do ultrasonography, which is very common and very cheap and easily available. On the other hand, you can make MRI because it is radiation free, and maybe it is a little bit costly but safe to the patient. And the last and foremost indication is CT. or the computed tomography, because it is more specific, more organ specific, and more size and shape you can determine also, and special locations, or you can make the CD guided FNAC or CD guided drainage you can also form. So it is very important. And now the important one is the cellulitis and lymphangitis. So cellulitis is a non-suppurative invasive infection of tissue. Here you must remember, cellulitis is a non-suppurative, that means there will be no pus. Abscess always present with pus, but the cellulitis will non-pus fermenter. So invasive infections of tissue, because cellulitis go as a fascial plane or spread. Cellulitis spread according to the fascious plane, but abscess is localized. Okay, so there is a poor localization or addition of the cardinal signs of spreading and inflammations, such as infection presenting surgical practice. So you can see there are some cellulitis, spreading cellulitis, the redness, the whole red area is suffering from this kind of cellulitic activity. So these are the Streptococcus cellulitis, like following the minor puncture wound. So there is a puncture wound which is the entry point of the bacteria, and ultimately the infection spread proximally to the normal tissue. So it is started from a needle prick injury, and you can see you can see here the step these plain radiograph showing the subphrenic abscesses. Yeah, that is abscess. Okay, because water fluid line you can see here. So plain subphrenic abscess with the gas filled fluid white, the gastrographin seen leaking from the esophageal anastomosis after gastrectomy towards the abscess. So after the anastomotic surgery, you can see there is an abscess in the subphrenic area. So subphrenic area is the most common location of intra-abdominal abscess. Okay, and the second most common space is right subhepatic, and the third most common space is pelvic. Okay, so you must understand or remember the things. Okay, now the organisms such as the beta hemolytic streptococci or staphylococci and the Clostridium perfringens, these can causes cellulitis. Okay, that is, these are the very dangerous Staphylococcus and gas gangrene, because we know the Clostridium perfringens causes gas gangrene. So tissue destruction, gangrene and ulceration may follow related proteases, because protease is the ultimate protease is the enzyme which is a culprit. It is the main enzyme which will allow the spreading or make the tissue destruction and gangrene occurs, and the hyaluronidase, lecithinase, these will form the host defense. This will resist the host defense, that's why the infections can spread proximally through the fascial plane. So that had already been discussed yesterday. The old fashioned term is the toxemia, that means patient is very toxic after the cellulitis, and the patient suffer from chills and rigor and fever. Okay, these toxins and the lymphangitis. Now the lymphangitis is a part of similar process and present as a painful red streak in a lymphatic affected lymphatics, draining the source. Lymphangitis is often accompanied by the painful lymph nodes groups and related drainage areas. So lymphangitis will associate with always painful lymph node. Okay, and the necrotic foreign bodies resisting anaerobic conditions, miliary wound provide ideal environment. The cavitation which follows passage of mesial through the tissue, like sucking entrion. So that means it is saying that when the wound is opened by any injury or foreign particles, that may form after the cavitations. So gas gangrene would infect are associated with severe local wound pain and crepitus. So crepitus is as a common characteristics of gas gangrene or cellulitis. There will be a crepitus sound, and the wound produce thin brown and sweet smelling exudate. So you can see a discharge or sweet smelling exudate or brown fluid may be present there, and the gram staining reveals bacteria. So if you make CS or culture sensitivity, you may form the gram staining. You can see the bacteria, and so there will be spreading gangrene followed by release of collagenase, hyaluronidase and protein and alpha toxin. That means I already told you that these are the collagenase, hyaluronases and proteases. These are the culprit that helps in spreading. So here the gas gangrene has some topics like Clostridium perfringens is the bacteria, and there must be a gas and smell. Immunocompromised patients are more at risk, and the antibiotic prophylaxis is essential when performing amputations to remove dead tissue, because after amputation this spreading gangrene also present to the proximal side. So antibiotic prophylaxis is must to compile or prevent the spreading. And now once gas gangrene infected, the intravenous medicine suggestive debridement is affected in the large area. Now the tetany. Tetany is anaerobic terminal spore bearing gram positive bacteria which can causes tetanus, and it is very common in what is the soil and manure that all been discussed yesterday, mediated by release of exotoxin tetanospasmin. So tetanospasmin is the toxin which is the ultimate culprit which makes the pathogenicity of the organism. So a longer prodromal phase 4 to 5 weeks associated with the milder form of the disease, and prophylaxis of tetanus toxoid preventable treatment. That means আমরা অনেক সময় tetanus toxin toxoid যে tetanus injection যেটা দেই এটা ওটি will make preventive চিকিৎসা treatment. Administrative antitoxin using human immunoglobulin which is immediate, tetanus toxoid, tetanus immunoglobulin, this is the tetanus immunoglobulin. Both risk owned and established infections. So protection of 5 years আমরা যদি toxoid দেই এটা 5 বছরের জন্য আপনাকে কাজ করবে একটা tetanus injection. A single 5 years booster confers immunity. আচ্ছা এখানে তেমন কিছু নাই, but the use of antitoxin is controversial because the risk of toxidal allergy. So আমাদের অনেক সময় টক্সিনে অ্যালার্জি থাকতে পারে, কারো কারো হইতে পারে, সো আমরা অ্যান্টিটক্সিনে অ্যালার্জি থাকতে পারে। সো আমরা এখানে 3 ডোজ অফ প্রোফাইলেক্টিক বেঞ্জাইল পেনিসিলিন বা পেনিসিলিন ভি এটা আমরা দিতে পারি, ইন্টারভেনাস পেনিসিলিন। এবার সিনার্জিস্টিক গ্যাংগ্রিন, দ্যাট ইজ ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট, দ্যাট নেক্রোটাইজিং fasciitis and polygonal infections. So there will be more than one bacteria and they will act synergistically to a specific organism and then spread proximally. So it is very infective, very bad conditions. Like it is caused by Clostridia. It is not caused by Clostridia. You must be remembered that it is not caused by Clostridia. So there will be no Clostridia in the group of organism. Like what are the organisms present there? Coliform, Staphylococcus, bacteroids, anaerobic streptococci, peptostreptococcus. These are the organisms that's usually present in the necrotic fasciitis. All have been implicated acting on the synergy. So they will act together like a team. Okay. Abdominal wall infections is the Millings gangrene, synergistic gangrene, and scrotal infection like Fournier's gangrene. So abdominal wall hoy Millings synergistic infections that will spread proximally to the chest wall, and this in the scrotum also affected like Fournier's gangrene. So abdominal wall affected with Millings gangrene, and the scrotal infection as a Fournier's gangrene. Okay, there is two things, two sides, but you must not amalgamate with each other. Okay, but it is also immunocompromised. So you can see that there is a Fournier's gangrene. Okay, classical presentation of Fournier's gangrene, and the scrotum shameful exposure of testes following excision of the gangrenous skin. Gangrenous skin must be already excised. So it is very bad conditions. Bacteremia. Now the bacteremia is unusual in superficial. That means in systemic infections with the superficial surgical setting, which is uncommon, but it may be deep. So intestinal anastomosis leakage breakdown is more common for bacteremia or septicemia due to anastomotic breakdown of the intestine, and can also follow the undertaken infected tissue. Instrumentations is infected bile and urine. Yes, you can. It must be remembered. Bacterium is important when a prosthesis has been implanted. Here also again, prosthesis is one of the important factor where the bacteremia is more common to the patient. Okay, can occur to the hematogenous spread. Okay, because prosthesis is very associated with the muscles vessels, so there is easy chance of bacteria transformation to the blood vessels, and that will form an hematogenous spread mechanism. Aerobic gram-negative bacilli are often responsible, but Staphylococcus aureus and fungi may be involved. So there may be Staphylococcus, maybe gram-negative bacteria like Escherichia coli, like bacteroids, like Klebsiella proteus, others may be present like gram-negative bacilli. So particular use of broad spectrum antibiotic or as a empirical therapy, it must be started. Then the pus and exudate must be sent for culture sensitivity, and according to the culture sensitivity, antibiotic must be given, and regular dressing is must. Now the bacteremia is dangerous if the patient has a prosthesis which can become infected. That means bacteremia is very common in the prosthetic implanted patient. And anastomotic breakdown is so much common, maybe associated with systemic organ failure. So it ultimately it makes the MODS, multiple organ dysfunction syndrome. So here the systemic inflammatory response syndrome SIRS is sometimes asked in the exam, and also can be written in the written examination as a short note. So এটা short note হিসেবে আসে, and এটা অনেক সময় পরীক্ষায় জিজ্ঞাসা করা হয় what it is. So systemic inflammatory response is a group of symptoms which will occurs in the inflammatory or infected patient, or a shock patient with septic shock, septicemia. It also occurs as a septicemia like features. So এখানে আমরা কি পাবো? Sepsis, although syndrome, that means it is a syndrome, may also consider the multiple trauma. So there is a multiple trauma like a gunshot injury, like blasting injuries, or road traffic accident. Burns, severe burn more than 30% or 20-25% of burn patient. Pancreatitis without infection. So previously those patients may not be associated with any kind of infection. Serious infections such as secondary peritonitis may lead to SIRS. Lipopolys is an endotoxin from the wall of the gram-negative bacteria. So SIRS can be occurs in the endotoxin of the gram-negative bacteria Escherichia coli and other bacteria and fungi. And other toxins such as release of cytokines from macrophages. SIRS should not be confused with bacteremia. That means bacteremia and SIRS is more like a similar, but must not be the same things. Okay. So septic manifestations and multiple organ dysfunction syndrome are mediated by the release of interleukin 1, interleukin tumor necrosis factor alpha. These two things are responsible for MODS in SIRS. So a respiratory burst occurs within the such activated neutrophils releasing lysosomal enzymes, oxidants, and free radicals. Okay, so these response is usually beneficial to the host and is important normal tissue repairs and wound healing. So এগুলো আপনার মনে রাখতে হবে, এখানে তেমন কিছু নেই। SIRS জাস্ট একটু রিডিং দিয়ে নিতে দিবেন। এখানে আলটিমেটলি multiple ultimate fate of SIRS, if you don't treat the patient in the perfect moment, the person can suffer later on the MODS, multiple organ dysfunctions and death. So what are the multiple organ dysfunctions? Respiratory, cardiac, and intestinal, renal, liver failure, combination of circulatory failure and shock. Okay. So এবার আসি hepatitis, so some blood-borne infections. So here just remember hypothermia more than 38 degrees centigrade, or hyperthermia more than 38, and hypothermia is less than 36 centigrade. Tachycardia is more than 90, and there must not be any beta blockers. Okay, and tachycardia more than 20 per minute, and WBC count more than 12 into 10 to the power 90 per liter, or less than 4 into 10 to the power 9 liter. So these are can be asked in the exam, also in the MCQ in the part 1. So now the infected patient. So MODS is the effect that SIRS produces systemically. MOS a multiple system of functions. System of organ functions is end stage of uncontrolled MODS. So এটা একটু মনে রাখেন। আর এবার আসি ভাইরাল ইনফেকশনস associated with surgery. তো সার্জিক্যাল ক্যারিয়ারে আপনাদের ভাইরাল ইনফেক্টেড পেশেন্টের উপর অপারেশন করা লাগতে পারে। সো এ পেশেন্ট মাইট হ্যাভ হেপাটাইটিস, মাইট হ্যাভ HIV, that means AIDS patient, you can be encounter. So there must be some precautions regarding surgery to this kind of patients. So এখানে আমরা দেখি যে এই ধরনের ভাইরাস ইনফেক্টেড পেশেন্ট সম্পর্কে কি বলা আছে। Both hepatitis B and C carries risk of surgery as they are bloodborne. So যদি যেহেতু তারা ব্লাড দিয়ে ছড়ায়, সো এটা একটু মাথায় রাখতে হবে যেগুলো risky. So the usual mode of transmission is blood to blood contact through a needle stick injury or cut. So needle stick injury and cut injury is very common for the surgeons. So surgeons are also affected, can be affected with hepatitis because it is bloodborne. So needle contains some bloods, and if he or she's pricked, or surgeon pricked by that same needle, so that hepatitis can be transferred to the surgeons as well. So that's why hepatitis B asymptomatic surgeons may carry the virus without being aware of it. So sometimes surgeons can be a carrier, so he or she can be transfer the virus to the patient also. So vaccine against hepatitis B is effective. An immune status of hepatitis B and vaccinated against it. Hepatitis C infections often become the chronic. The chronicity of hepatitis C is more than B. There is significant liver damage, but is spontaneously curable with interferon alpha and ribavirin treatment. So surgeons who are exposed to risk medical advice and antibiotic treatment, transmission of hepatitis C from a surgeon to patient extremely rare. So এখানে দেখা গেছে hepatitis B যতটা ছড়ায়, C তেমনটা ছড়াতে পারে না সার্জন থেকে পেশেন্টে, but vaccination must to prevent the transmission. The type 1 human immunodeficiency virus is one of the viruses of surgical importance. So এখানে HIV induced patient সম্পর্কে জানতে হবে। It is a retrovirus infected patients, increasingly prevalent through sexual transmissions. Sexual transmission এর মাধ্যমে ছড়াইতে পারে, এটা একটু মাথায় থাকতে হবে। And a homoheterosexual পাওয়া যায় intravenous drug addiction যারা করে তাদেরও হয় blood product, those infected with the blood products used to treat hemophilia, that means they need blood transfusion, frequent blood transfusion. So the infected blood products used to treat hemophilia. So এরা কিভাবে ছড়ায়? CD4 plus T cell or helper T cell, this is the immunity. So they reduce the CD4 plus T cell. Ultimately their immune system becomes weak and HIV occurs. How many options are a long way to go. Okay, now cell mediated immunity and antibody production delayed hypersensitivity. So HIV produce delayed hypersensitivity reactions, and cell mediated immunity, so macrophage guards into lymphatic cells, GALT is affected. Risk of opportunistic infection like pneumocystic carini and pneumonia, tuberculosis, cytomegalovirus, and the Kaposi sarcoma and the lymphoma. So Kaposi sarcoma, lymphoma, pneumocystic carini, tuberculosis, cytomegalovirus, these are the opportunistic infections, because when our immune system is so much strong, these infections can't affect us. But when the CD4 plus T cell becomes reduced or lost, in that case opportunistic infections occur by these organisms. Okay, in the early weeks after HIV infection there may be flu-like illness during the phase of seroconversion. So highly active anti-retrotherapy HAART most effective through. So within 2 years untreated HIV progresses to acquired immunodeficiency syndrome at the age is 25 to 35% of patients. So 25 থেকে 35% পেশেন্ট যদি 2 বছর চিকিৎসা না করা হয় সেক্ষেত্রে এইডস রোগ তৈরি হইতে পারে। আলটিমেটলি এইচআইভি এর কোনো ভ্যাকসিন তৈরি হয়নি, সো আলটিমেট 100% mortality. So multiply resistance coagulase negative staphylococcus, that means MRCNS. They are also coagulase negative staphylococci. So alcoholic hand gel can act as a substitute for hand washing but do not destroy the spore of Clostridium difficile. That means that it acts as disinfective, but it doesn't kill the spores of the Clostridium difficile, which may cause a pseudomembranous colitis. Okay, especially the immunocompromised patients, those who gut flora is suppressed by antibiotic therapy. Okay, that already been same things. So chlorhexidine is used in popular in Europe. We also seen some surgical videos because they washed the or paint the surgical fields with the chlorhexidines. So, but there has no hard evidence for their value to reducing wound infections. There কোনো evidence তারা দিতে পারেনি যে ইনফেকশন খুব কম হয়। প্রিঅপারেটিভ স্কিন শেভিং শুড বি আন্ডারটেকেন ইন দি অপারেটিভ থিয়েটার। এটা একটা কোয়েশ্চেন যে আপনারা কখন স্কিন শেভ করবেন। দ্যাট ইজ অলওয়েজ ইন দ্য প্রিঅপারেটিভ স্কিন শুড বি আন্ডারটেকেন ইন দি অপারেশন থিয়েটার, নট ডে ওয়ান previously. That means in before one day, no, it must be done in the operation theatre immediately before surgery. As the SSI rates after clean wound surgery may be double if shaving is performed the night before. Okay, double হয়ে যেতে পারে because minor skin injury enhances superficial colonizations. Cream depletion is messy and hair clipped is best. So if you make hair clipping, that is more preferable than hair shaving, because when you shave, so minor skin trauma occurs and there is a more superficial bacterial colonizations in the in there, so that causes more chance of superficial site infections. So scrubbing and skin preparation, dilute alcohol based antiseptic hand soaps, the chlorhexidine and propanedione, that is for hand washing and skin scrubbing also. So these lead to more than 95% reduction in bacterial count. যদি আমরা স্কিন স্ক্রাবিং করি more than 95% bacterial count রিডিউস করবে। এটা একটা MCQ আসতে পারে। Numbers and staff and theaters, movements in and out should be kept in minimum. So the people of operating room must be low. That means those minimum are required for performing a surgery, like a sister, like anesthetist, and also surgeon's assistant, and a ward boy also. Okay, not more than the people who are in and out spontaneously, but that must be restricted in case of operative theaters. So the laminar flow, like maintaining the laminar flow by the by filtered air, by operative field. So আমরা laminar flow maintain করব because air must be filtered by the clean direct filter, so that must be used. So operation skills and gentle manipulation, dissection tissues much more difficult to in an audit, but dead space and hematoma should be avoided. So আমরা dead space and hematoma করতে চাইবো না। So আমাদের ইনজুরি কম করার চেষ্টা করতে হবে। A meticulous technique must be taken for surgical manifestations. So preoperative evidence of hypothermia and use of supplementary oxygen during recoveries significantly reduce the rate of SSI. That means আমাদের preoperative oxygenations and hypothermia prevention must be taken, because it will make chance of reduce superficial site infections. Okay, now the prophylactic antibiotics. So if any infection occurs, so we must make a good antibiotic prophylaxis according to the culture sensitivity, but sometimes we had to take empirical therapy of prophylactic antibiotics. So we must know some knowledges regarding the antibiotic prophylaxis. So antibiotics are used when there is a risk of contamination and bacteria during surgery, and the values of antibiotics prophylaxis is low in non-prosthetic clean surgery. So if there is a non-prosthetic clean surgery, so there is no such need of any bacteria, but sometimes we feel not secure to not to use any antibiotics, because our environment, our socio-economic conditions and others is not so favorable. That's why people are always walking here and there with their dirty clothes, and sometimes because the air is so much polluted and contaminated. In that case, so bacteria is everywhere, so it will not easily be healed without, maybe a wound is healed without antibiotics, but sometimes we must not take any risk of wound infection. So that's why we make prophylactic antibiotics, and sometimes wound infection comes in previous days it was spontaneous, but now the rate of infection is so reduced because because of meticulous technique, because of choosing proper sterile suture materials, as well as the cleaning water operating room and other protocols are easily been maintained nowadays. That's why the chances of infections is so low. So these non-prosthetic people must not take any antibiotic prophylaxis, but if there is a prosthetic implant, so infection is so catastrophic, even in the small risk of infection is unacceptable. Okay, when the wound is having contaminated, when the incision made in abscess, 5 days of course is therapeutic antibiotic. So আমরা 5 দিনের therapeutic antibiotic দেই যদি when wound are heavily contaminated, incision is made, যদি abscess হয়ে যায় তাহলে 5 দিনের অবশ্যই আমরা antibiotic দিব. So ideally maximal blood and tissue levels should be present in the time. Tissue levels of antibiotic should remain high throughout the operation, and antibiotics will short tissue. যদি antibiotic আমরা short টার্মে দেওয়ার জন্য টিস্যু লেভেল অফ অ্যান্টিবায়োটিক শুড রিমেইন হাই, দ্যাট মিন্স এমন অ্যান্টিবায়োটিকটা আপনাকে ব্যবহার করতে হবে যেটা টিস্যু লেভেলে অনেক বেশি হাই থাকবে অ্যান্ড শর্ট টার্ম ইউজ, এটা আমাদের দেখার বিষয়. আচ্ছা, so here there is a rating which is for antibiotic prophylaxis and an outcome, like in infection rate without prophylaxis 1 to 2 in a clean, and like with or without there is no difference. So if you make antibiotic, that is the same result. If you don't, that will be also the same result. So clean and contaminated 6 to 9% if you don't use, but contaminated if you use prophylaxis, that is 6, so low, but you don't, then 13 to 20 it is an MCQ, and dirty is 40. So just try to remember these two things, it is very important. Okay, now the postoperative wound infections. So what we see that not required clean surgery, antibiotic is not required, use antibiotics that effective against the expected pathogens with local hospital guidelines. So plan for single shoot intravenous administration of anesthesia, so we must make the limited use of anesthetic drugs, so that also forms the forms antibiotic prophylaxis more if you make the anesthesia prolonged. So patients with heart valve disease and prosthesis should be protected from bacteremia causes dental work, and erosion interventions are like visceral surgery. Everything is within the prosthetic workout. So post-operative wound infection, like majority of wound infections are arise with endogenous source within the patient, but it is necessary. Strict attention of ward cleaning, gloving before touching patient's wounds, hand washing between all patients contact are important preventive measures. So আমাদের এই কাজগুলো করলে আমরা এটা কমাতে পারবো, যে strict ward cleaning, gloving, touching patients wound and hand washing, these can also act as preventive measures. So you need the temporary ward closure to deep cleaning. If যদি এরকম কিছু হয়ে যায়, আমরা একটা ইনফেক্টিভ অপারেশন হলো, তারপরে আমরা অবশ্যই নিড এ টেম্পোরারি ক্লোজার অফ দি ওয়ার্ড, কখনো ওয়ার্ড অনেক ইনফেকশন হয়ে যায়, ক্লোজ করতে হয়, ডিপ ক্লিন করা লাগে, রেডিকেশন করতে হয়. So now the patients are discharged more quickly after surgery. So suppurative wound infections 7 to 10 days of develop. So cellulitis হইতে পারে, ইনভেসিভ অরিজিন হইতে পারে, so it takes 3 to 4 days to develop. So cellulitis 3 থেকে 4 দিন লাগে, আর suppurative wound infection takes 7 to 10 days. So একটা কতদিন লাগতে পারে একটা 7 to 10 days, আর যদি সেটা cellulitis 3 to 4 days. Cellulitis or bacteria may need treatment, appropriate antibiotics. The choice may need to be empirical initially, but best based on culture and sensitivity, isolates harvested at surgery or form the culture of wound fluid or wound swabs. And changes antibiotic promotes resistance and risk of complications such as difficilis. And the infected wounds is under tensions, and there is a clear evidence of suppurations. So here you can see mixed streptococcal infections. So there is a less chance of skin graft. There is less skin grafting because skin grafting is more like failure. But here, after a total 5 to 6 days of antibiotics, the infection shows that is under control and skin graft are clearly visible. Okay. You can also see the surgical site infections. So contaminated tissue, when possible, tissue and pus for culture should be taken. মানে আমাদেরকে antibiotic must be given according to the culture sensitivity. Before cover the choice of antibiotics, empirical anti-sensitivity are available. So a patient must not be taken without antibiotic prophylaxis. So So we must select an empirical therapy, then after the CS report we will change the antibiotic or switch the antibiotic to the definitive one. So heavily contaminated wounds are best managed by delayed primary and secondary close. So heavily contaminated wound must not be closed primarily, it must be closed secondarily according to the guidelines, and in that case granulation tissue must be present there and a good prophylaxis of antibiotic must be completed soon enough. Okay, now you can see there is abdominal wound infections, maybe Millin's gangrene. Okay, there is skin layer granulate after laparotomy for fecal peritonitis, that is for skin grafting, and you can see there is a dog bite maybe, or the animal bite. Most probably it is a dog bite. So that is also eye infected wound. You can see some crusting or black area here. So these are the infective zones, and or maybe it is a cellulitis occurred already. So if the bacterium is suspected but results are negative, then report specimen blood culture need to be taken. Again can be done. Total antiseptic should be used. Heavily contaminated wounds and short period of clear infections. So what are the antibiotic treatment of surgical infections? What are the antibiotic treatment? So what is the principle? That is, do not replace surgical drainage of infections. That means there is no alternative. Antibiotics is not alternative of surgical drainage and infections. Okay, it is not alternative. It is associated. It is a treatment protocol along with the incision and drainage, not an individual treatment or the better treatment. It is not the better treatment above the surgical incision and drainage. So only spreading infections or signs and symptoms infections justify the use of antibiotics. If you see there is a sign of cellulitis or there is a spreading of infection, in that case antibiotic is needed and it is must. And whenever possible the organism and sensitivity should be determined. অনেক সময় দেখা গেল পসিবল হলে অর্গানিজম সেন্সিটিভিটি শুড বি ডিটারমাইন্ড, অবশ্যই অর্গানিজমের সেন্সিটিভিটি দেখতে হবে। So narrow spectrum must not be used because it is preserved for MRSA treatment, but broad spectrum and combination therapy is usually taken, like during following emergency surgery requiring the opening of perforated and ischemic bowel. Any organism may be responsible. Suspected peritoneal bacteria may be present. So bodies such as teicoplanin or meropenem effective against the wide range of anaerobic bacteria. Combined with metronidazole, that means metronidazole along with meropenem is a good antibiotic combination. Okay, the alternative triple therapy can be taken like amoxicillin, gentamicin and metronidazole. So here the gentamicin, the gentin aminoglycosides, it is very sensitive for gram negative bacteria or gram negative coverage. The use of broad spectrum antibiotic strategy should be guided. Specialist microbiological advice if clinical response is poor 3 to 4 days. So আমরা antibiotic combination change করতে পারি, or we can have a better suggestions from the microbiologist if the 3 to 4 days preparation is not maintained or corrected or is not responsible for a good prophylaxis. In that case after 3 to 4 days we can change the total process or change the bacterial prophylaxis. So antibiotic use treatment and prophylaxis, like some are bactericidal like penicillin, aminoglycosides like gentin, gentamicin, amikacin, and others are bacteriostatic like tetracycline and erythromycin. So aminoglycosides act as a ribosomal level and preventing. Okay, so এখানে আমরা কিছু ব্যাকটেরিয়া সম্পর্কে বলছে, এগুলো আমরা দেখাই নিতে পারেন যে benzyl penicillin are proved most effective against the streptococci, not the staphylococci. It is still effective in actinomycosis and the chronic wound infections. In the flucloxacillin is resistant to beta-lactamase, and it can be taken after any abscess or others. Penicillin is producing staphylococci which are resistant to benzyl penicillin. Now the sorry, ampicillin, amoxicillin and coamoxicillin. Ampicillin and amoxicillin are beta-lactam penicillin taken orally or may be effective parenterally. Enterococcus faecalis and the majority of group D streptococci, but not species of Klebsiella and Pseudomonas. Clavulanic acid has no antibacterial activity itself, but it does inactivate beta lactamase. So clavulanic acid combinations along with amoxicillin is very good for Klebsiella and Enterococcus faecalis, but alone penicillin and amoxicillin are the beta lactam antibiotics. So beta lactamase producing bacteria has no effect in the ampicillin because they are beta lactamase, so they will neutralize the antibacterial therapy. So that means there will be clavulanic acid combination. Clavulanic acid has no any antibacterial role, but it has ability to prevent the beta lactamase to destroying the antibacterium. So what are the most common? Those like Staphylococcus aureus, E. coli, Haemophilus influenzae, Bacteroides and Klebsiella. These are the very dangerous bacteria. Those have the beta lactamase enzyme. Okay. So piperacillin and tetracycline both are used in combinations like tazobactam and piperacillin. They are not active against the MRSA, but are used in treatment of septicemia, surgical hospital acquired. They are active against Pseudomonas and Proteus. Okay. So here you can see some vancomycin. Those are used in MRSA and also Clostridium difficile in case of Pseudomonas colitis. Okay. Aminoglycosides like gentamicin, tobramycin is similar activity and effective against the gram negative. Okay, and the gentamicin is effective against the Pseudomonas. So gentamicin অনেক সময় Pseudomonas infection অনেক সময় দেয়. So is effective against many strains of Pseudomonas. So serum level before 1 hour after intramuscular injections can be taken 48 hours after the start of the therapy. আমরা দেখে নিতে পারি. Okay, what are the bacterial load? Like 1 hour after intramuscular injections must be taken 48 hours after the start of the therapy, and dose should be modified strictly. It has a problem, or like gentamicin has complications of ototoxicity and nephrotoxicity. So it must not be given in the patient of renal impairment or any other elderly patient, because elderly patients are also suffering from atrophy, hearing atrophy or hearing disorders. So we must not prescribe gentamicin in that kind of patients. So vancomycin and teicoplanin also preventive therapy. So there are carbapenem or meropenem. These has also a good stability of beta lactamase enzyme producing bacteria, and also like peritonitis, abdominal case. So it can be also effective for the resistance case of urinary tract infections, and also in the mixed spectrum abdominal infection like peritonitis. So metronidazole also has a good clearance or combination of killing the bacteroids and Clostridia, and it can also makes the treatment of like Clostridium difficile in the Pseudomonas colitis. And the ciprofloxacin like quinolone derivatives and also broader spectrum effect against the gram positive gram negative area both. So ciprofloxacin can occur both gram positive and gram negative area, but here I already told like ciprofloxacin can cause a pseudomembranous colitis, okay, due to Clostridium difficile like erythromycin. So before administrations of ciprofloxacin, this may cause pseudomembranous colitis also. Okay, as it can be preventive against the Pseudomonas Clostridium difficile, but it also causes Clostridium Pseudomembranous colitis. Okay, so it is a very controversial, and nowadays ciprofloxacin, use of ciprofloxacin is reduced. So এটা খুব আনকমন, আমাদের খুব শীঘ্রই ciprofloxacin আর কেউ ব্যবহার করবে না, because it has also a nephrotoxic, it must not used in the chronic diabetic nephropathy patient or CKD patient. We must not use ciprofloxacin. So এটাই ছিল সার্জিক্যাল ইনফেকশনের আদ্যপান্ত। আশা করি আপনাদের সবাই ভালো লাগছে আমার ভিডিওটি। যদি ভালো লেগে থাকে তো লাইক, সাবস্ক্রাইব অলসো, and if you have any questions keep write that down below in the comment sections. I will try to answer. So maybe this is the lovely sessions of surgical site infections of part 2. So এর পরবর্তীতে আমরা আসবো ইনশাআল্লাহ, পরবর্তীতে আবার দেখা হবে। ভালো থাকবেন, সুস্থ থাকবেন, Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.